Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Habitat Horizon. In this video, we'll learn about basics of Linux permission, type of permissions, different levels, and how can see these permissions for files and folder. As we all know about Windows file system, let us take example of one file. On this, for this file, under property and security section, we can see the permissions for this file. These are the groups or user who can access this file with the different permissions, and these are the permissions for different users. If we change the group or user, these permissions are get changed. The permissions like full control, modify, read, write, and execute. Similarly, there are permissions in Linux. Similarly to the Windows, Linux is also multiple user system. Root is a basic and administrative main user. Along with, we can create multiple users called as home users. Each user has its responsibility to manage access to the files and folders. He can provide access to a file or folder so that another user can read, write, or execute according to the permissions. In a Linux, there are three types of permissions like read, write, and execute. Read is represented by R symbol. This access represent that the file is able to read or not by other user or group of users. The another permission is write. It is represented by symbol W. It represents that if if some user has write access, then the file can be modified by that user. And the third one is execute, and which is represented by symbol X. The execute generally used for the executable files that can be executed, like script files, batch file, or exe files. Also it is represented for folders in Linux. As you can see on Windows, there are multiple users. Similarly, in Linux, these permissions are controlled at a three level. The first one is user yourself, which is represented by you. The another is group, which is represented by character G. And the third one is other, which is represented by symbol O. In Linux, the above permissions are read, write, and execute. These permissions are controlled on these three levels, such as user, group, and other. I have logged into my Linux and check our current working directory and check the files present. There are, as you can see, there is one file present in this folder. Execute ls minus l command and the file name for which we want to see the permissions and hit enter. As you can see the details of this file. Let's break down these details. These are the details of this file. The first character dash represent that it is a file. There are another types such as directories, link files, which are represented D for directories and L for link. And the next nine character represent the permissions for these three levels. First three character represent permissions for user. The next three characters represent permissions for group level, and the last three characters represent permission for other. In the first group, there are three characters. The first R, W, and dash. Three characters represent three levels, three types of permission, like read, write, and execute. This means the user means current user is able to read and write this file but not able to execute. Similarly, other group is able to read this file but not able to write and execute. Similarly, for the other users are able to read and write this file but not able to execute this file. As I previously mentioned, the first character represents its type. So as D represent means these are the directories. One is EC2 user and Kiranya. and the next three character represent access control for user, that I am as logged in ECT user. So ECT user has access to these files, and other group and other users do not have access to this folder. Similarly, for this folder, the own user has read, write, and execute access, and but not for our group and other. Let's we take one example. In this example, we will create one file using another user and try to modify this with our own user if we do not have access to this file. Let's switch to the another user. Let's see the current working directory. We are in home kernel directory and check the content of this folder. As there is no file, we will create one file and add some content in this file. We use echo command, add anything we want. This is I am adding the relatable content so that we can verify that who which user has modified the content. So this represents that the file is modified by kernel and add in file 1. We can verify the content is added or not using cat command. As you can see that this shows the content of this file. Now we will check the details of this file. As you can see that this is the file. The own user, the current yourself are able to read, write this file but not able to execute. Similarly, or other groups are able to read this file but not able to write and execute this file. Similarly for the other users. As the main user ECT user has not access to modify this file, we can verify these permissions. Now switch to the our main user using this command. Provide password and hit enter. Check our current working directory and our user. These two commands are necessary to verify our current working directory and current user. So we are in EC2 user and check we are able to access the file created by another user. As you can see, there are two folders. One is for home directory for our user and another is for other user kernel. Let's see the details for this for contents also. As you can see that D represent directory. The current user is able to read, write, execute this folder, and not, the access for other users are not present. So similarly for other directory means the home directory is accessible by only the user and not for the group and other. So initially to let's see we can able to access this file created or folder. As we can see that we logged in EC2 user and we do not have access to kernel as other. So try to enter in this directory. As you can see that permission denied, we are getting this error as we do not have access to execute or means read write this folder. So to provide access, we to provide access the command is used chmod and type of the user means group, yourself or other, or for other. And as we need to provide read, write and execute access, so provide plus read, write and execute access for folder or directory. Provide the name. Operation, as we are EC2 user and we cannot modify permissions for other user. So now we try to provide access for other for our own folder. Press tab to add to fill the content and hit enter. And now see the content. As you can see that the EC2 user is accessible by others user using RWX. Similarly, we will change the permissions for kernel folder also. Let's change the user, enter password. Now check current working directory. Similarly, we can provide access to other users to this folder. Use chmod and the type of user we want to provide access like O, and we want to provide read, write and execute access for our kernel folder and press enter and check the details or verify the access is provided or not. First clear screen alias minus L. It will show there are two folders. The first folder has access. The own user can read write, but not the group. Similarly, other users can able to read write and execute. Now we can access the other folders also. Now as we are logging as kernel, so we try to enter in the home directory for EC2 user. As we have access to execute this folder, so we are able to enter in this file in this folder. So let's see the content of this folder. As you can see that there is one file, and for other users the access has only read and not able to modify it. We can see the content of this file using cat file. As this file is empty, there is nothing in this file, so we will try to modify this file. Let's add some content. As we do not have access, so we are getting permission denied error. Similarly, we can check here in vice versa. Let's switch to the EC2 user. Check our current working directory. Check the content. There is one file. See the content of this file. As this file is empty, add some content. To verify this content, use the same cat command. As you can see the content of this file. Now, similarly, we can try to access the home directory for other users. Let's see content of this file. There, as you can see, there are two folders. So we try to access kernel directory using EC2 user. As kernel has read, write, execute access for other users. So EC2 user as a other for this kernel directory. So we are able to access this folder. Let's enter in this folder. Check the content of this folder. As you can see, there is one file created by kernel user. Now see the content of this file. As this file is created by kernel, so we try to modify this file. As we do not have any write or execute permission, we are getting this error. So to modify this permission, we or we can see the permissions of this file by using this command. And as author only can read this file but not able to modify. So to provide access to the file, we need to use chmod command. But we cannot modify the file access for the other users. So we can only modify the files or folder created by our own user. So go to our own directory and modify access for the file created by EC2 user. So we will provide access to this file to the other user so he can able to write also. So to provide write access to this file, use as we need to provide access to the other users, press O, and as we are able we want to add write access, so press or type plus and provide the access type, means we want to provide w access for this file and hit enter. To verify the details, as you can see that author can able to read and write this file. Now switch to the user so we can confirm. Let's see the content and its details permission. As we have provided access to the file created by ECT user, so try to modify this file. First, change the directory, locate to the directory of EC2 user. Now see the details of this folder. As this there is one file and this file is able to read or write by other user. So as we log in using kernel and we are trying to modify the file created by ECT user. Now add content in this file. Verify the content. As you can see that this file is get modified as we have access to this file. The details about this chmod command and how can we provide or execute, we will see in another lecture. Hope this video will help you to understand basics of Linux permission. If you have any queries related to this video, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you.